Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hope on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the blockchain.
Now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hooked on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like LeBron James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Refuse not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I got a shout out to
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hooked on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Freaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, miny, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the ride with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
GM, welcome to Coffee with Captain. I'm Cap. Happy Thursday, everyone. We are live here on X Audio, X Video, as well as YouTube and Abstract. If you haven't done so already, do us a favor, hit those likes, the reposts, the bookmarks, the favorites, the subscribes, all the above. You know the deal. Appreciate you all getting us, helping us get warmed up here this morning. And we got a lot to get into actually today. We've got, yes, the title. We'll fly over SpaceX a bit and how it is now worth more than the entirety of the crypto market. But and we do have some more specific Web3 crypto NFT happenings. We're not going to get into the great hat debate of 2026. If you know, you know. But shout out to all those out there already. GM to the early birds. Zane, safe travels. I hope you've secured your whiteboard. Blockmage, Dobbins, GMs across the board. I'm looking for, I thought for sure I dropped the abstract post, the link to the abstract chat in the chat, but I'm not seeing it. So let me go grab that again real quick, and we'll get rolling here. I did see, speaking of X, I saw our guy Bunch had an absolute cook yesterday, went viral across the app, and I hadn't said anything. I know we'd maybe referenced the now infamous Freddie, but that'll be we'll cold open. We'll stay with the football / soccer conversation, and I've got a few thoughts. One, my first down day, my first bust day in the in the underdog draft streets. Knicks fans F Wimby chants already starting at 6 a.m. It is Thursday, so all the Knicks fans out there, I hope you have an amazing day at the parade today. Be safe and try not to burn down the city, but have fun while you're out there. Take some notes from our friends, our European friends here. I even saw, like, in Boston, the Scots who have eliminated all the remaining beer in Boston as they continue their World Cup celebrations, they stay up. They cleaned up the place afterwards. There was a guy cleaning the grounds. He's like, yeah, I had nothing to clean up. They all picked up after themselves. Like you can still have a blast and still be a respectful, responsible human being. And more, I hope we get more of that. More of the World Cup brings more good-natured and responsible partying to the States. So collecting my thoughts here. Speaking of soccer, football, we're doing it. We're going to go. Working title is football and football, FOOTBAL and FUTBOL. We'll do a joint show, and I did get more of a football education yesterday, more of a soccer education. I think I finally got that thing. It's been driving me nuts for like a week, and there's been two. I got one like the first try. I Mr. Miyagi'd it and took out the first one. The second one has been buzzing around like a fighter jet, and it's like a stealth fighter. It's been just haven't been able to capture it, but I think I got him there. Maybe I missed again, but anyways, I digress. If you're missing the stream, I had two gnats flying around. I think, because I don't have any like fruit. I don't have anything like keep things pretty clean. I think it's plants. I asked ChatGPT, like, where are these gnats coming from? And I have a relatively green thumb. I actually brought I don't know if I've shared this on the show. I'll take some pictures. I brought an orchid back to life. It's got like 7 blooms on it after I thought it was dead. It wasn't my orchid, but I inherited it. Maybe getting to British Coast. Let me come back to that. I inherited it from, it's my girlfriend's, and it was just like if you've ever had an orchid, they're very hard to keep. And it was just, green, 2 green branches and 2 green branches and one that was completely dead, and revived it. It's thriving now. It's got like 7 full blooms on it. It's beautiful. And that's my biggest flex. I don't have a great track record with orchids, but I was able to rescue this one. Mayhem does say living soil will bring gnats. So maybe that's it, is I did do like the organic soil, but I don't like overwater. I just have, I don't know if you can see in here, I just have a couple of like, what you call it? Like spider plants. I think that's what they're called. And I just water them once a week. Like they're not being overwatered. So that was like, it's like ChatGPT said the first thing was, you might be, if you have like sitting water in your plants or something, that's something that can bring gnats. But Von Front got me. Dupes says, yeah, it's plants. You need mosquito bits stuff to put in plants. What do you mean mosquito bits stuff? I've had plants before. I've never had this issue, but you can see, maybe you can see back there, there's one, and then I've got another one over in the other corner, just because they're good with air filtration and stuff. So good for the office. But yeah, and they've been there for a while, but some reason recently the 2 gnats appeared, and one has been thorn in my side. So back to football and football. One, maybe my favorite conversation yesterday was with Warp Joe, and we're going back and forth. We're trading some text. And it started as he put a great breakdown in the counter, which is the invite portion of the Coffee with Captain Discord. So it's not gated. You just need an invite if you'd like to get in there. If you too are soccer curious or want to learn more about the sport, in particular like the Premier League and how these different leagues break down, this is there's an incredible breakdown in the counter. So if you're interested in that, just pop over and or just shoot the official Coffee with Captain account. Let me actually throw that in the chat now. And also, if you want to come up on stage, Joey, I see you out there. Go make sure you update your X. There was another 2 days in a row, there was updates. This was the one. I know you're on Android, so maybe it's different. But for whatever reason on iPhone, sometimes like you search X, you pull it up and it says update, right on the main screen as soon as it pulls up the X app. And you just click it and you can see it. Sometimes obvious. Other times you search X and it'll just say open. You have to actually click through the app and then it shows you that there's an update available. It was one of those updates this morning. So you gotta actually go looking for it. But I am running the most recent version of X that came out sometime between yesterday morning and now. And yeah, so make sure if you're coming up on stage for whether it's for any reason, if you want to join the conversation, whether it's soccer or SpaceX, or we'll talk a little bit about on-chain credit ratings. I know that may sound boring, but we'll hit that at a high level. We will put a picture up in the spaces reply of what? Dupes, what are you asking? Put a picture up of what? The plants, the orchid, or the spider plants. Anyways, I'm going to try to slow down my ADD and finish at least one thought here this morning before before my tangent continues. Got to turn that volume down. Sorry for the echo for a sec. Okay, I think all my opening duties have now been completed. We've got the coffee with Captain Account in the audience. I can't break it up on stage right now because you'll get the echo. But if you want to join the War Room the Coffee with Captain Discord, you can't get in the War Room without a DGen pass. If you'd like that, I can link the OpenSea collection as well. But the counter, what I was referencing there with that full breakdown of soccer education, it's not gated. It's just invite only into the Discord. Oh, mosquito dunks. I got it. Okay. I don't have standing water. That's where. And the other thing I'm confused by is, this is inside. And while I do go in and out a lot, like Duke loves it out by the pool, it's the entire backyard, or the entire like patio / pool area, outdoor living space. It's all caged in. It's all screened in. It's a big bird cage. So I don't know where they'd be coming from. I mean, obviously they're here. So I'll get some of those mosquito dunks, and we'll see if that takes care of it. I did try the other, and I'd seen this before. It wasn't new. This is gross. I don't know if I can spell it. Well, it is, one remedy is it's Ophir. It's not working right now. So take that for a grain of salt, but I'd seen it before. I think I'd actually used it once or twice before. And that was for ChatGPT or Claude. One of them was their first recommendation was apple cider vinegar and a dash of dish soap. And apparently gnats love that. And you just I just saw some saran wrap on top, poke a few holes in it, and they get in, they can't get out. Anyways, doesn't work, or it hasn't worked this time. So I'll try some of those mosquito dunks. I will throw them in the soil, and we'll see if that takes care of it. Or I just Mr. Miyagi the next one, and that's the two. It's a gnat trap. Okay. Back to the soccer story. Well, I will, one way or another, it may take me a minute. I will circle all the way back, and we'll finish all these thoughts at one point this morning, sometime in the next couple hours. But my soccer education, courtesy, several of you, but in particular, if you've ever had a conversation with Joe, he's very detailed. Mosquito bits. Okay, thank you, dupes. Appreciate it. So here is one. See, I'm still jumping around. Can't get off the gnats. It's annoying. They're annoying. Like they don't bite. They don't hurt. It's just they buzz, and I'm a weirdo where I think it's gonna like fly in my ear, and then I'm gonna have to deal with having a bug living inside me. Anyways, there's a quick glimpse into my brain this morning. Mosquito bits, and then the other one that looks like the same brand, mosquito dunks, is what Mayhem shared in the War Room, but it's got to be the same brand. The branding is exactly the same. It's a red packaging with the yellow stripe, and this is mosquito bits. The other is mosquito dunks. But yeah, same. Got to be the same brand. So apparently it works. We have two horticulturalist dupes and Mayhem, both recommending that. So I will give that a go, and then you don't have to hear me talk about gnats anymore or try to Mr. Miyagi on the show. One more last recommendation. Absolute Zero says pumice stones and plants will keep the gnats down. I tell you what, if the football and football show doesn't work out, pumice. If the the best part about the football show is going to be me mispronouncing 80 to 90% of the soccer player names. If that show doesn't work out, though, we may have to start trying to think what's a good alliteration. Gardening with Cap doesn't quite land. What's a good alliteration for a gardening or a plant show with Cap? Yeah, you got some sort of weird echo too, Joey. I don't know what it is, but something's a little off. You're good now. It's like after. It's on me actually. Do you have 2 devices playing? Yeah, because when I talk, I hear an echo. I'm not hearing it now though. Maybe it's good. We're fixed. We're good. We're gonna power through it. This is I'm gonna not land the plane. I'm gonna turn the plane around and go back to the soccer conversation with Joe. And my favorite part about it, finishing a sentence from 11 minutes ago, is it was started as a soccer conversation and turned into a world. Soccer conversation evolved into a world history education. So I really enjoyed that. I feel I learned a lot more, not just about soccer, but the history, geopolitical history, imperialism, all the above. Captain Plant. I like where you're going, Dupes. We might be onto something here. I'm not sure that's it. I'm not sure that's the thing, but we put on the Captain Planet song. Like we're getting close. We might be heading there. And I can't make this stuff up. I wasn't planning on having this conversation today. 2 days ago, I had my daughter had a dentist appointment, and I popped into one of my friends. They have a kava bar, and there was someone that was sitting down there, and he was like deep into this. It wasn't like not my friend, not the owner, but just a patron, and was big in cannabis with Captain. I mean, that's an alliteration that hits, but I'm not going to be growing cannabis. Which is weird because Florida's a legal state. I have a medical card, but you're not allowed to grow even in a single plant. So I would do everything. I'll grow legal plants. But speaking of growing legal plants, I asked him, like, why doesn't anyone grow kava here in Florida? It's like a huge booming industry. Everyone imports it from like the Fijian Islands or I can't pronounce it. I'm going to try. And it's something to do, like some people have successfully grown it in Hawaii, I guess. But even people have like tried to import soil, and long story short, they've been unsuccessful to do it. So maybe we start cultivating with Captain. That could be it. Carnations, nope, not going to do flowers. But cultivating with Captain could be the winner. We will maybe if I go down this path, we start cultivating with Captain. Maybe we hack horticulture with AI and are the first to grow kava here in that's functional in the state of Florida, because that would be an absolute money printing business for sure. Captain's Green Thumb sounds kind of heroish. Not going to say no, Maida. Appreciate all the suggestions, but this is from soccer to, we're doing another show for sure. It's probably going to be sports before it is, most likely sports before it is, before it's any sort of gardening. And I'm probably less of while my green thumb is decent and I enjoy plants, it's probably crafting with Captain. I like where you're going, Imlo. See, we're good. You're good. You all are excellent crowdsourcers this morning. Make it Captain Plant. Okay. Captain Planet. Oh, I get it. Took me a minute, but that's pretty. See, crowdsourcing show names. This is we're on to something here. Maybe we start a segment, just call it crowdsourcing show names. Yeah, well done to all of you, whether we do the horticultural show or not. We're definitely going to do a soccer show, and for many reasons. One, I'm truly enjoying the sport. Like I'm going to go on this journey of becoming a fan. So my thoughts are twofold. One, maybe I don't, maybe part of the journey is not being the expert. Like we'll talk American football, we'll talk soccer, international football. I need to know how I want to land that one every time, but you all know what I'm talking about. So we'll talk football, we'll talk soccer, specifically with the best ball slant or a DFS slant or a player take slant. And part of it could be I'm not the expert. So it's like my journey into learning about the sport and mispronouncing all these names. Or the other thought, Von Frunten, is I find a counterpart, a British co-host who doesn't have to be British, but I'm quoting Von Frunten here, asked if I was getting a British co-host, a co-host who is as deep in the soccer streets and knows as much about soccer player takes and who's playing, what this week 17 matchups are. Like I am deep in, when I say I'm plus EV in the NFL best ball streets, find someone who's similar in the soccer streets. Not only because I'm enjoying the sport and I want to learn more and I'm going on this journey, Dino Pons is the soccer one. Okay, if anyone's interested, I truly will. I'm not going to necessarily do interviews, but if I can find somewhere one that will wear a giant gnat costume, I will interview them, so long as Zane volunteers to make the thumbnail. Gnat show might launch before the plant. We might go. This order might be a gnat show, then a plant show, then a football show. But one way or another, we will get to the football show. Part of what blew my mind during my soccer education is Joe shared a bunch of content accounts, a bunch of soccer content accounts. So I could, get it into my algorithm, start learning more. And my mind is absolutely blown. Here's one guy, for example, Fabrizio Romano. If you're into soccer, you're probably already following Fabrizio, because if you missed it, there 27.9 million followers. This guy has more followers than basically every professional sports franchise in the US. Probably every sports commentator combined in the US. Like, to give you an idea, Adam Schefter, this guy, the soccer guy, is 28 million. Adam Schefter is not even half that, at 11.7 million. And most people would probably consider Adam the largest, football analyst or hot take account or breaking news account. This guy's like the Adam Schefter for soccer, with more than double the following. The market is massive. And as I enjoy meeting, new friends in different parts of the world and growing my global friend base, I am more football education here is, per Joe, wearing big costumes, i.e. the Nat costume, is called fancy dress. Footballers actually do this around the holiday parties. Can you explain to me why? Actually, as I'm asking the question, I think I know the answer. During the England game yesterday, I saw there was like 3 guys that they were in. I thought at first they were Chewbacca costumes, but as I'm asking the question, they're not Chewbacca costumes. They must have been lions. So they were all 3 wearing big lion costumes. Now that I think through this. Why are they referred to as the 3 lions, though? That would be my next question. Why is England the 3 lions? That would make sense. That would make sense. I also could have probably Googled why 3 lions, but it didn't register. They didn't look like lions, really. So I was wondering why they were why they were wearing. Okay. Yeah, maybe we go to 3 shows. Morning show, Coffee with Captain. Then we roll into Gardening with Captain or Cultivating with Captain. And then we close off the day with On the Pitch with Cap. I still think I'm still leaning Richard the Lionheart from the 12th century. So the Brits have a little more history than we do. They go back a little further than we do here. All that said, really enjoying it. Yesterday, the Ghana game, if you missed it, they scored a goal in the 95th minute. It was electric. And I might upset some people when I say this, but I think Ronaldo is cooked. I think he's dust. I think it's over. He had a good run. He's not the GOAT. From my limited knowledge, that would be Messi by a good margin. But yeah, Ronaldo had a good run, but it's the run is over. And I know it's more than just one player, but And Portugal, either way, they probably still likely make it out of the group stage. But I don't know. I mean, they Congo tied them yesterday 1-1, and it was he I don't even touch him. I didn't have any shot. I know. Yeah. There is. They say the age cliff is 44, and I can attest to that. I didn't feel much different at. In fact, I might have felt. I was about the same. Like I actually felt like peak health for my adult life was probably like 38 to 43, and then at 44, like just some aches and creaks and just things started setting in. Some shoulder issues. Like I just, it was like more like frustrating ailments that I will. And then I learned about the science behind the age 44 or the 44 age cliff, and so I'm gonna say that's what it was. Yeah. Dort MLS has managed to keep Messi sharp somehow. Maybe it's not actually that terrible. I think there might be something to this. I wonder if talk about NBA and load management. I wonder if it actually is extending his career that he's playing against lesser competition. He doesn't have to go out there every night against the best in the world. And I don't know. I don't know. Our soccer expert says no, it's terrible. I know MLS is not on the level, not even remotely close as the Premier League and these other La Liga and all these. Like, there's probably a dozen leagues that are superior to the Major League Soccer. But I think there could be something to that, to where he doesn't have the pressure to go as hard every night, or he's not playing against, the Hollands of the world who are just. He might be like so far early. I know it's early, and I'm not going to make any decisions on who my favorite player is, at least until after the World Cup. But right now, if you maybe choose what's one younger player I want to get behind and like root for the next decade, it's Holland. The guy is he's a real life Viking. I said it the other day, but he is like, he plays the game how I picture like LeBron would play the game had LeBron grown up playing football, soccer instead of basketball. Absolute Zero says he's not hearing people on X. Anyone else having audio issues on X? I guess if you are, you won't be able to hear that. It's the first comment I've seen, but is it Absolute Zero? You're not able to hear me and Joey, or just not able to hear Joey? Let me know. He's in the YouTube chat, so I'm taking you can hear us on YouTube. Let me know if it's just me, or if it's both of, or if it's just Joey, or you're not able to hear both of us. Von Friend says X is good for everyone. As does Mayhem. So it must be a you issue. Absolute. No, just not Joey. Maybe close X and go double check in the App Store that you're on the most recent version of X. English says audio is fine as well. So it appears to be on your end, Absolute Zero. So yeah, just force close the app, take a lap, maybe check for current updates. And I know it's frustrating, but for whatever reason, X just gets finicky. When Hizzy just had X messed up for him earlier, had to log off real quick. It's not to be cheesy, but it's like unplug it, plug it back in. Yeah, Black Mage says the same thing. Can't hear the guest. Joey, you said you are on the most recent version of X? And then just to be clear, Black Mage, you can't hear the guest on X or on YouTube as well. Nope. It was on my end. Now the echo's not on my end.
From somebody in the audience that they can hear me.
Yeah, you're good on X. Although I'm getting a nasty echo, so maybe do me a favor and take a quick lap and then come back up. But the YouTube issue, why you couldn't hear Joey, was me. Streamcaster just does this thing every once in a while where it switches my mic to the MacBook. So my audio probably was junk for a bit there. My apologies, but there's no rhyme or reason to it. It doesn't do it every show. It's just every once in a while. And I check it probably like 75% of the shows. And then the one time I don't check it, it swaps my mic from the Rodecaster, which is the default, to the MacBook built-in mic. So my
I
apologies.
switched to desktop cap. Is this better or worse?
There's no echo. It just sounds like you're kind of like tunnelish, but it's okay. Well, we can hear you. I don't want to keep belaboring the issue, but yeah, others were getting the echo is now, but other than that, it's good. And yeah, it's fine. It's a little lighter, but I can still hear you. So rewinding all this to the soccer conversation and my guy Bunch. I'm gonna pin Bunchy's post up top because it was an absolute cook. You love to see it. I'd followed this Freddie guy, and I had I don't know. It got a little too out there. It's cool. I like all the Europeans exploring America, enjoying these stadiums, enjoying their journey. And I know there's a lot legitimately. Maybe Freddie is just authentic. The more I've seen, and I saw something else, and then I had a friend say that it was fabricated, it's not real. They basically did an expose with a journalist, an investigative journalist, and found some old tweets that made it appear that Freddie's not who he seems that he is. Maybe they're just haters, and maybe it's all authentic, but I think he's a plant, or at best it is being manufactured. And so while I kind of agree with Bunch's lean here, Bunch says, unpopular opinion, by no fault of his own, this story has totally jumped the shark. In his opinion, it was so great originally because it was a genuine account of someone discovering all the simple things we take for granted in our country. Now it's just another corporate commercial. And I feel the same. Like, so maybe it started out as just a genuine account of someone discovering all the simple things in our country. Maybe it started that way. I tend to lean it probably it was manufactured from the jump. It's jumped the shark to where now it's, and I'm not blaming Freddie. It's like you guys went mega viral. 670,000 followers, like his life has changed. Assuming he's a real person, his life has changed on this trip. It's just the feel, the tone. I think it's just doesn't feel genuine or authentic anymore. It feels a little like some of this stuff's probably paid. Even if he's not getting paid directly, he's definitely getting perks and things like VIP experiences and tours and $10,000 a night hotel trip or stays. Bunch replied to, lots of people seem to think this is a negative post about Freddie. It's not. Merely trying to express that I think it's much more compelling to see an average person getting their mind blown by average experiences we take for granted. 100% agreed. That's all. Freddie should get hooked up and take advantage of all the offers. It's incredible and the trip of a lifetime. But it's far less compelling to me as an observer. Nothing I don't see from on every other influencer account getting VIP experiences. It's not a Freddie thing, folks. And again, well said. I agree with Bunch. What made the let's assume he's not a plant. It's not manufactured. It was all authentic, genuine post, authentic, genuine story. What made it so endearing was it started out like, oh, it's like Denny's and taking joy in experiences that, a Waffle House or a Denny's or a Taco Bell or again, bad restaurants, maybe not the best example, but just doing things that, just traveling and experiencing our country in these stadiums. We went from that to the guy who just became another influencer. I don't blame him. It's not Freddie's fault, assuming he's a real person. He's not a plant, but it's just not, we've got thousands of other influencers that post about their, their lavish lives and their paid for experiences on Instagram and X and elsewhere. So it morphed from something that any American can experience every day and we often take for granted to, oh, now that he's went viral, he's getting VIP influencer treatment. And again, I'd be doing the same thing. If someone wanted to offer me free tickets and a 10,000 night hotel for free, I'm not going to say no, but it's just, it doesn't hit the same as it did originally. Not knocking Freddie again, assuming he's not a plant, but I'm not going to share the other expose. But it's because I wasn't able to validate it. He does. If you go back, he's made numerous political posts. The take was it's again. I'm not even going to go there because I don't know. I don't know it to be true. So, but made a lot of political posts that don't necessarily make sense for a German to be talking about. I'll just say that. We'll leave it there. Anyways, on to more fun stuff. Yeah, do your own research. I have no idea. Zane, also, once again, the best thumbnail creator on the planet. He's already ahead of the game. We already have the thumbnail. We just need who's willing to wear the Nat suit. Whoever's willing to wear the Nat suit, we're live. We got Nat with Captain. Maybe this is the football and football show. I mean, since this is already a thing in soccer culture, the what did Joe call it? Fancy dress. The chat's already popping off, and I've lost the take. Fancy dress or whatever they refer to it as. Dressing up in costumes and stuff is already a thing in. Yeah, we do need, if we do the soccer show, probably good call Von Front. We need to go European friendly time zone. That would make sense for sure. And we have so many name suggestions that it's taken me. I'm having to scan the chat for a while to find what I was looking for, and still not seeing it, but that's okay. No biggie. This is a thing, so maybe this would be the hit show. Is my co-host is not just a British co-host or someone that has a deep understanding of football, but they come to the show every day and they're wearing a Nat suit. Is there a Nat soccer team? Do any soccer teams have a Nat as their mascot? Fancy dress, yes. Okay, fancy dress. Thank you. Sheesh. Started sweating. It took me so long to try to find that. If there's a Nat football team, it's in the running for my favorite football team. I'll just say that. Also, while I'm giving Zane some shout outs, I would be remiss if I didn't shout out something that maybe is a little more important than his elite thumbnails. A lot of you I know have seen or collect or play the Vibes TCG game. Zane shared, we might have had some insight here, but we got a public announcement yesterday. Zane, super excited to share that I got to do art concepting for Vibes Set 3. His role was to ideate and pitch creative concepts for each card's artwork and name. As someone who's been collecting Vibes since Set 1, getting to work on this felt like a dream come true. One thing I've always admired about Vibes is its art direction, how they can be so many different types of cards, from references to classic art to memes we see every day to clever ways of building entire worlds around specific penguins, yet everything still feels cohesive. Getting a little peek behind the scenes made it obvious that none of this is by accident. This is a team that sweats the small stuff, and it shows. Huge shout out to Clur, Spencer, and the entire Vibes TCG team for the awesome opportunity. This was one of the most fun projects I've ever got to be a part of. Stoked for everyone to finally see these out tomorrow. So congrats to Zane. Awesome stuff. Love to hear it, and glad that is out in the wild. What time? What does anyone know the details? I'll go see if I can pull some. I'll go see if I can pull some details from the probably Vibes TCG. Sorry, I did not mean to flash that. Hopefully, I didn't out anyone. That's your warning. Don't slide into my DMs with anything that you don't want the screen to see. Occasionally, I might. Jesus Christ, what am I doing? Occasionally I might out the DMs inadvertently. Now I'm really sweating. The stage is set in Manila. All I'm trying to do is find what the drop. Okay, here we go. Tomorrow the Burb and Penguin era begins. But I don't see a time or details around the drop. So if anyone knows what are the specifics here? What time does it drop? Can anyone buy? Is there, is there any gating or raffle, or is it a free for all? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing it just on a quick glance, but most importantly, I just want to give Zane a shout out there. I'll pin that up top, and yeah, go give that some love. Zane is a longtime friend of the show, and he's out there every day, supports us. You're missing. It's actually worth the DGen pass just to see. That makes the price of admission worth it just to see Zane's daily doodles in there. It is they're elite and well deserving of this gig with vibes and doing the art concepting. I don't know why I can't speak. That shouldn't be that hard. Conception. The Savannah Sand Gnats. So
art concepts.
Savannah Sand Gnats is a MLB, or I'm sorry, minor league baseball team. We've got that going for us. There's not a soccer team. There's definitely a minor league baseball team. So I'm thinking how I can swing this all back. I'm supposed to do a pack rip today on the Chimpers packs. We might do that. And let's do this. So let's get into, we got Proof Half DJing coming up. We'll see if he wants to get in on something before I move on to the next topic of conversation, because here's my list today. So we had Warsh debuted yesterday, and the big change was instead of good afternoon, he opened the talk with good day. I'm sure there's probably a polymarket on that. I did not participate, but nothing to really talk about. I mean, it was basically as expected, but I mean, at this point, I don't think anyone's expecting rate cuts, and rates did hold. Liquidations jumped a bit as money, 65%, as money rotated back into this the stock market, or in particular to the SpaceX party. And NFT starting again. NFT momentum popping off. This is, again, not me saying this. My Claude agent, the scheduled scan it does every day of X, it looks for market, crypto, and if there's anything relevant in the NFT space. And what it picked off in the last 24 hours was not one, but two stories, over 800 posts each in just the last 14 hours, talking about Web3 veterans buying into the Bored Ape Yacht Club for the first time. And then Mr. Weitzman deepening his ape and other side stack as well. The high level there, the Bored Ape Yacht Club floor has doubled from about 5 ETH to about 10 ETH in the past month, and is holding around that 9 to 10 ETH zone. The comeback narrative is real enough that fresh, notable buyers are stepping in. However, the sober counterweight, broader NFT volume, still only 5 to 8 million. I think 5 to 8 million is not nothing, daily, that is. And analysts peg that 96% of collections are functionally dead. I don't disagree with that, but that's not new news as well. So, I don't know. Apes at 9 ETH, generational buy, dead cat bounce, boomer trap. Who knows? I will say this: we often compare to social clubs, country clubs. I was not aware of Michael Jordan has a members only club. His current club is in Palm Beach, or actually Jupiter, and it's called 1000 North. And he's actually opening up one in Sarasota. It's supposed to open, I think, in October. And, we talk about why would someone pay for a social club? Like, yes, Jordan's one of the founders. So is there any else? Like, he might come for the grand opening. I know he doesn't live here. I don't think he's coming to hang out at this members only club in Sarasota. It's like, you're not like you're going to be rubbing shoulders with Michael Jordan, but it's a members only club, invite only, and annual dues of $6,000 a year. What's to get you access? Fine dining, concierge service. I've got it pulled up here on screen. So tucked into the heart of Sarasota's cultural corridor, 1000 North Sarasota is a members-only club that blends culinary artistry, legacy hospitality. It's modeled after their iconic Jupiter flagship location. This location is the same elevated spirit, brings the same elevated spirit to the Boulevard of Arts. The intimate dinners and handcrafted cocktails to personalized concierge service, private wine storage. Each moment at 1000 North is designed to feel effortless and entirely on your own. Membership is by invitation. You can fill out the application to be considered, and then again, $6,000 a year. So now, is that for everyone? No, but it's just another proof point that I think this becomes a lot clearer when the clubhouse opens. I'll just say that. I do think once Yuga actually opens the clubhouse in Miami, the story of, like, we had the conversation, like, why would I buy an Ape? Why would I buy an Izuki? Why would I buy a Pudgy? We're also going to talk about Luca's recent announcement. I think he shared some alpha that hasn't went wide yet. But I truly believe, like, I don't know, like, I'm sure this is going to be great. I'm sure it'll be awesome. From the pictures and the renderings I've seen, it doesn't look all too dissimilar to the, I think these are gated. I'll see. It doesn't look too dissimilar to the renderings I've seen of the clubhouse. And that's it. Like, there's no annual event. There's no, actually, they do have merch that is for members, but it's not, there's no guarantee. Again, if you missed the great hat debate of 2026, you missed out. Here you go. Just a private restaurant and private club, originally opened in Palm Beach County by celebrity co-founders including Michael Jordan, is opening downtown Sarasota location, and recently closed on an additional property, expanding even before opening. Again, really nice club, really nice restaurant. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my read is completely off. But again, this image here, it looks very similar to some of the images, some of the renderings we've seen from the Yuga Clubhouse. This isn't not making this PvP. I'm not saying that the clubhouse is on par with Michael Jordan's club. What I'm saying is this concept of members only club. We've talked about experiential retail. We've talked about in real life experiences. We talk about why I'm so long and bullish on events, sports. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I think you're going to see more and more of these social clubs, these private clubs, these not just private ones, but I think you're going to see a lot of establishments where you got to turn in your phone. You got to lock up your phone. Like, it's going to be, they're going to really lean into the human connection interaction. And to me, when I see, oh, that's $6,000 a year, yeah, you could do that. And maybe you see Michael Jordan once. I doubt it. I don't think he's going to be hanging out there. Oh, real quick, back to the vibe set. It was released at 12 a.m. So it is live. It's out there. And Dilly has live rips starting today at 10 a.m. Eastern. So after the show, it's also a Thursday. So everyone gets bonus points, especially anyone with an Ape or Mutant PFP, if you hang out here and don't leave us for the at the clubhouse at 9 when that goes live. Those MFers, I kid. I get it. They're catering to a global audience. But thank you for the update, Katie. And Hans, thank you very much for the generous Pingu tip over there. I do want to come back to not necessarily Pingu, but more so abstract and just Iglo in general. And yeah, that vibe set is it is live. Least I could do is share. Congrats on the work. And yeah, if you want it, it's out there. Go get it. And tune in to Dilly at 10 if you want to see some live pack rips. So landing the plane on the whole membership, the club experience. It's, Michael Jordan's club, they have at least one billionaire in their club. Michael, I don't think any of the other celebrities or athletes I saw are billionaires yet. Yacht Club has at least one billionaire in the club, Mr. Weitzman. So we can go toe to toe when it comes to number of billionaires in private clubs. The difference is you don't get to pay $6,000 a year. It's a one-time access pass for life. Forget apes for a minute. You can pick up a mutant for 1.38 ETH, or we'll say 1.4. We'll round up. You can pick up a mutant for $2,500 one time. So when maybe I know we've used the clubhouse analogy in the past. Now that's not, people don't like that. There's you can golf. There's other things. Okay, cool. It's the same thing. It's just so while, and I see, and Joey has been one, like, I just don't understand where the value lies. It's a private exclusive membership club that happens to have 30,000 access passes, and it's a global club. So it's not apples to apples, as not just Michael Jordan's. Most of these social clubs are localized. Maybe some are global, but most are localized. And they don't come with extra things like Ape Fest or, forget all the free magical internet money and the airdrops and all that. Just let's talk about current moving forward. And yeah, I mean, if you want to compare Michael Jordan to Weitzman, like they both competed against plumbers and garbage men, Von Frunten. They're basically this. Michael Jordan and Adam Weitzman are basically the same person. They might have been born the same year. I don't know, I'm making this up, but they're basically the same person. They both competed against plumbers and garbage men. If you side with LeBron as the GOAT and you think Jordan competed against plumbers and garbage men, Weitzman does the same thing. Like they're very similar career paths. A kid, it's a joke. But the greater point being is I think we're going to see more and more and more of these social clubs. Not everyone's going to be founded by Michael Jordan. Some will be celebrities. Some will be limited to 50 members only. Others will be thousands of members. Some will be, sports focused, like the Athletic Club of St. Pete, which is like a pickleball theme. Others are going to be dining and fine dining focused. I know this isn't a new concept, but what I'm seeing, and maybe it's my pocket of the world, they're like every month I'm seeing another one. Either it's a new one's opening or one I wasn't aware of. I become aware of. They're popping off. Like they're very in demand. They quickly sell out their memberships, or if it's not exclusive, it's more of, you just got to pay your monthly dues or your annual dues. They are they're very popular. They're growing in popularity. The demand is growing, and I think now I know it's not open as far as the physical location. But I think Yuga is going to, I think we're going to look back in 10 years and you're going to say, oh yeah, Yuga was early to the whole social club thing. And they're just doing it differently. They're doing it with a online decentralized community, which brings its own challenges. It's not invite only. So you can have people that you may not see eye to eye with, or people you don't like could enter the club. I'm sure that also happens in country clubs and social clubs as well. It's a much larger club because of the global nature of it. And if you think about like local members, there's probably more local I think they're capping the Sarasota one at 200 members. So there'll be more, there's probably more members there than there is in the Board Ape Yacht Club in this area, in the Tampa, St. Pete, Sarasota market. But if you look at like the state of Florida, they're probably about the same in terms of number of members in the state of Florida versus members of Sarasota and the one in Jupiter. It's not that uncommon. Remove the monkey JPEG from it and just talk about the community, the club element. Once this clubhouse opens, they're pretty similar. Thinking about, we may simulcast some of the at the clubhouse, but TBD. Let me do this. Let me knock out a quick market update. That'll kind of lead us into one of the next conversations. And then as 9 o'clock hits, not right at 9, we may let them warm up their room and get rolling. I do think, I mean, Dort says this, he's curious if, I think we get Ape Fest news today. I'm calling it. I think they announced when and where Ape Fest. I don't think Figgy puts out that tweet if they weren't going to announce it soon. I also am going to say it's not going to be in Asia. Feel like for a while people were like, oh, maybe it's Japan. I think it's definitely not going to be in Japan now because Figgy's doing the tour right now. So if they were going to do Ape Fest Asia, he's probably not making as much of an effort to get out and meet all the community members in Asia. Actually, it's next week it kicks off the official tour. So if you are in that part of the world, or you're going to be traveling, events in Taipei, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Seoul. I would love to. Someday I'd like to go back and do that same tour. And the fact that I have friends in that part of the globe now, it makes it even more something else I would even look more forward to than just visiting those cities and not knowing anyone. I do want to share this though. So he first shared lots to accomplish this week. And by the way, if there's no pushback and no one's uncomfortable, then you're not adequately growing people's ideas of what something can be. Meeting priority for the tour, the holders and the community. 2, B2B and BDC partners. 3, media. Number 1 is most important because of a strong base makes the other 2 priorities easier in subsequent visits. Our job is to collect the best collectors. Also, win news about meeting of apes around the world. Board API Club. That was on June 15th. I don't think he puts that out there. I don't think he's going to troll himself. I don't think he's putting it out there if they're not going to announce where Ape Fest is going to be soon. So my bold take, maybe it's not even that bold. I think it's today. I think they'll announce it probably at the clubhouse. So if you do leave us and they announce it, come back just so you can tell me I was right. More importantly, I did want to get to this midweek update. Still a lot to get done. They launched. This is just the midweek update following quote tweeting that earlier posted. Right, launched RWA Coda plushie. I pushed the team to integrate the token gated tranche. I believe holders should come first. Was a lot to fit into a new collab drop. Probably too much. Ultimately, bumpiness on the drop was on me. Was my call. Easy for me to own. Despite the bumpy ride, 1,000 Codas went to holders. 100 went to the public sale. Believe this distribution will lead to a healthier, better collection. We'll see how it does in the coming days. Glyph and ApeCoin, first steps on Fidgetals. More on that in a second. Natural course feels like more collectible platforms and channels integrate ApeCoin and Glyph. All on-chain collectibles, not just Yuga or ApeChain communities, can be brought into the other side and built into experiences. Reflecting on the past 6 weeks, each drop we've done auditioned new mint mechanics, Arsham Voyager, 5-year cigars, RWA Coda plushie. At the speed we're moving, there will be bumps, but future moves will be smoother. We'll try new ideas. We'll iterate fast. Today, we focus on pushing out our tour info, Luma invites for Taipei, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Seoul. And later, we discuss big meeting of apes from around the world in one location. Flying to Taipei Saturday, no breaks. So yeah, I think maybe it's not today. If not today, I think within the next week we know where Ape Fest is. I'm going to say it's going to be Miami, and I don't think they'll have Clubhouse open yet, but I do think maybe there's like a groundbreaking or a ribbon cutting or a preview. But yeah, if you leave us, shame on you for leaving us. You're excluded from tomorrow's Coffee with Captain if you leave us for Meet the Clubhouse. I'm kidding. It's just jokes. I understand why and why they're doing it when they're doing it. But yeah, if you do leave us and they announce Ape Fest, come back and tell me I'm right, please. Joey, I think you guys have an announcement coming out at 9. So do you want to get in here now? Quick comment, and then we'll do market update, and then we'll let you share the big news for the day.
Yeah, I can go real quick. We're only a couple minutes early, so I'm not going to front run it that bad. But there should be a tweet coming out at 9 a.m. announcing our newest activation on BZ. So I still for some reason can't pin anything. I checked to see if I'd be able to, and I can't. So at 9 from the BZ account, it should drop. So we're really excited to continue to expand utility for all of the users on BZ. Initially, we launched with Points Vault, which we've done a couple times now, where you can use your points to enter the vault, and then both times now we've had over $50,000 in rewards in the vault, and you could have got anything from, obviously it's like a raffle, so you get anything from not a raffle, but like a game of chance. You get anything from a discount code to a $10,000 slab. So we have more points vaults coming soon. Obviously, we're going to continue that, but we've had a lot of feedback from users on they want more ways to use their points regularly, and they want some lower entry where there's more accessible. So today at 9 a.m. we are launching points raffles.
Nice.
So you will actually be able to go on our platform and use your points to buy raffle tickets to win graded cards and or sealed product. So entry points, entry prices, whatever you want to call it, will vary based on the item that's up for raffle. Everybody gets one free entry into every raffle. So even if you don't have points, you can go and claim your one free entry into every raffle. And then depending on the raffle, you could enter, I think, up to 100 times, right? So let's say, hypothetically speaking, it was 10 points to enter. You could enter 100 times and you could spend 1,000 points. So they're launching today at 9 a.m. We have a bunch of cards and some sealed product in different price ranges going up for raffle. And we'll continue to do this and continue to build more ways for users to get utility out of their BZ points as we continue to grow the platform and soon launching on Solana.
I love it, man. Good move. And I've said it before, I think you guys are doing a great job with points. And while there may be a TGE someday, now that I have TCGs in my head, TGE becomes harder to say without thinking about it. I think don't make it just that. Make it to where that's just the cherry on top. That's just bonus. Like it shouldn't be just people farming just so they can maybe get a speculate that they might get a speculative token someday. Make it a real loyalty rewards program. And then if you do drop a token someday, cool, awesome. You've got a you're set up. Like you've just added that cherry on top.
We also I just released a blog on this. Kind of flew under the radar, but we actually launched a version 2 of quests. So you actually can earn points on our platform without performing any actions, right? Like we have a very simple just check in every day and earn points. And then we also expanded quests as well. So previously there was only 3 quests. It was check in, play the claw today, and then how many times, playing the claw so many times. We've now broken that up into each claw has its own quest. So whether it's the wild card, the silver, the gold, the platinum, there's quests attached to each individual one. And then we're going to continue to expand. And we expanded the claw plays quest. So previously, I think it was a cap. Now it can go all the way up to, I'd have to check the blog because I'm not prepared, obviously. But now you can, I think previously it went up to 25 claw plays. Now I think it goes up to 100, where you can earn bonus points. So we're continuing to evolve the way you can earn points as well. Expect soon there to be a social aspect to it. So, sharing your polls on X and to earn points. And so we're continuing to build out the point system. And to your point, Andrew has publicly talked about, that at some point there will be a token. But we want to give people an opportunity where if they're not token people to utilize these points that they're earning and feel like they're getting value. So Points Vault was the first one, now raffles, and then there's more coming down the line as well. And we're going to continue to evolve the way you can earn points. So you could literally, like I said, check in, earn free points just for checking in every day. You get a free entry into every raffle, so you can participate in a multitude of ways without ever having to spend $1 on BZ.
I love it. Well done. Congrats. And I am looking, as soon as that tweet goes live, I'll put it up top. But in the meantime, if you don't have a BZ account set up yet, you can see the fancy QR code now with that BZ logo on the screen. Just click that QR code. It'll take you right to get your BZ account set up. That's the Coffee with Captain ref link there. We have not one, but 2 competing shows this morning. So pulling people from in all directions today. Appreciate the ones that are hanging out with us. You're the real ones. You'll be in the running for Coffee with Captain. Coffee with Captain tomorrow. Dort, I fully understood, but yeah, if they start talking about if they do start talking about Ape Fest in a meaningful way, ping me, and we'll go to the simulcast. Please ping me if so, and we'll simulcast. So there you go. You don't need to join that space because if any real news breaks, we'll bring it in the feed as well. So, anyways, quick question, Joey, from Eddie Crypto, who was the one who correctly guessed that BZ was moving to Solana next. Does BZ have an app or plans for a mobile app?
So obviously you can use us through the base app. So you download the base app, and that's kind of like the mobile experience. I might get in trouble. I don't know if this is announced or not, but something is being developed.
Okay. I'm catching what you're laying down. Let's do this. While they're warming up the other space before there's definitely got to be any news in the first 5 minutes. So let me get a quick daily market update in. Got one other segment I want to knock out today, but the market update's kind of blah. I mean, it's nothing too noteworthy when it comes to numbers, but we'll go there anyways to see if anything we're missing. This is the daily market update on Coffee with Captain.
Coffee brewing. Yeah, the market's in play, charts on the screen. What the numbers gonna say? We got offer in the cup every single day. Coffee with Captain, market update on the way.
Alrighty, here we go. We're going to start with tokens because they're not a whole lot to talk about. Down a little bit on the day. The big winner is Stellar. It's up 7.95%, up 30% on the week. Everything else is slightly red. Nothing crazy. Sui's down 5%. That's the 26th token as it ranked by market cap. But everything else is like Bitcoin down 1%, ETH down 0.5%, BNB down 3%, XRP down 2.45%, Solana down 1%, Hyperliquid's up 0.65%. Up 27% of the week. Yeah, it's just nothing too noteworthy in either direction. Kind of just a chop-ish day. Heading over to NFTs, we've got Punks leading the way in volume. 33 ETH is that floor. They're flat. Trolls are I saw this collection wasn't related to the Trolls meme coin. I don't really know. New collection, 5,600 sales. It was a free or close to free mint. It's showing zero change on the day, but it's 0.037 ETH pre-reveal. Pudgy's up 1.6%, 4.55. I did just post a clip with Luca from Laura Shin up top. I will TLDR that here once we're done with the market update. I don't fully understand it, but it seems like it could be a big deal if they can in fact land it. That'd be Luca and the Igloo team. Milady's down 5% on the day, 1.09. Hyper is down 5% to 239. Apes down 2% to 8.98. Portraits, 0.13. And I don't know. We talked about Dave Krugman's mint yesterday. This one is Portraits by Simsur, CEMSR, Sim Senior, Simsur. 420 supply. It's got 228 owners, so 54% unique ownership. And there's the art. It minted for minted for 0.069, and so it's a 2x for mint, not nothing. New mints again continuing to perform well. Non-playable characters up another 7% of the day, 0.0749. That's as far as PFP communities go. One of the more vibrant ones. I see several in the chat almost every day now. Actually rocking the PFP, which I think is somewhat some signal there. Normies down slightly, but still almost 0.5. Another big one. We called out this yesterday. I said, hey, I would not be surprised to see it go up to 0.01, or it could go to 0. Unique owners are actually down. We looked yesterday; it was 16%. So some of those have sold off. But the floor is up 155% on the day. I did not play this one. Same thing I said yesterday. If you're going to have fun, play it. There's probably, because of the distribution, they're probably, if they get any sort of momentum, there's probably still pump left in this. But you got one holder owns 4% of the collection, another has 3%, another 2%. Like there's like a dozen people that have over 100 of these. So at some point, they're going to go look to take their gains, and you just don't want to be the last one, because maybe they're building they have a credible roadmap and they have big plans for this collection, or it could just be a short-term pump on a degen mint. So just know what you're getting yourself into, and as with most of the stuff in this place, don't play with any money that you can't afford to lose. Have some fun with it. Before I go to the pudgy topic that I alluded to, Mike says, I was incredibly lucky to turn my Coffee with Captain pool into almost 2 weeks of pulls. Got into the top 25 for the week. Got as high as number 6 on the points chart, and actually added money last night for the first time. Make sure you pass that along to Andrea and team. Let her know that the Coffee with Captain pump is real, and not only converting and bringing on new users, but new users that are actually going from not on the platform to top 25 as high as 6, and then depositing new money as well. So thank you for sharing, Mike. Greatly appreciate it. And yeah, love to see it. Love to see it. I kid about my bags. It doesn't, like, we've got a great relationship with the team, and I still love to see it. Greatly appreciate you sharing. Again, that the QR code on screen will take you to BZ account set up by way of the Coffee with Captain link. So let me.
Did you set up your Cap? Did you update your referral link? Because you can customize your referral link now, so it could just be like bz.com/ whatever cap or captain or coffee with captain.
Yes, Captain Zwingli.
Okay.
Yep, Captain Zwingli. Let me do this. I'll dive into, well, before I go to the Luca tweet. Proof Alpha Degen, anything you want to get on here on the conversation thus far? Raffles are live, by the way. I'll pin that up top here in just a second. But before I get into the pudgy conversation, I just wanted to check in with Proof Alpha Degen.
No, nothing specific. Glad to be here. Just it was too much tomfoolery going on this morning for me not to get up here and try to side rail you and sidetrack you. And then I chose instead of violence, I chose silence. So yeah, no, man, nothing at all. Other than farming, you can go ahead and send me the invoice to my DM and I'll gladly comply. Thanks, Cap.
You got it. Appreciate you, brother. And you're working to bring violence any day. People like the spicy shows. So I've got some thick skin, and especially from friends, I can take it all in good fun. Steve and I went to blows yesterday over a hat in the war room. I kid. We're not really.
Yeah, where's your hat? I was gonna say that. Where's your hat?
This $500 hat you see back here that was gated and not everyone ever got. That's I'm gonna actually I need to move it up so it can be more of a flex. I'm kidding. It's a joke. I'm just having some fun with it. But it is a good day to be an ape, they're saying. And someone just said hello in Chinese. That's what's happening on the Clubhouse. So we're gonna live tweet give you live feedback on the at the Clubhouse. You don't got to go anywhere. The raffles are live though. Spent months rewarding collectors for showing up. Giveaways, leaderboards, points vaults. Today, taking the next step. That is starting today. You can use your BZ points in raffles for a variety of collectibles. The first round of raffles includes fan favorite slabs and sealed products. Every collector gets one free entry. If you collect it on BZ, go get your free entry. You never know. You might pull a grail. We believe in rewarding collectors who show up. Participation should matter. While most platforms stop at points, we're focused on giving them real utility. It's BZ season. I don't care if you're into RWA collectibles or not. I don't care if you're into Pokemon. I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. I think you should applaud and appreciate that. This isn't just like a post. This isn't like taking shots at others. It's real. Most platforms do just stop at points. And then why do you get points? Well, we may drop a token someday. And they're farming the hell out of you for speculation around a potential speculative token. It's bad form. Be better. Use the technology, lean into blockchain tech, make it actual. Speaking of Steve, you proof of fandom and lean into next generation loyalty rewards programs. And then if you want to drop a token someday, drop that on top of it. But don't make your whole points program about some potential future speculative token, because the risk there for a user that's farming the platform thinking they're going to get this token, they can pull a fantasy top on you and just never drop a token, or a pump fun, or fill in the blank of points programs that actually, I don't know if pump fun actually has a points program. It's just volume. But fantasy top definitely had a points program. The fantasy things led to nothing. They shut down. They never dropped the token. They just pocketed 8 figures worth of fees and moved on and did something else. I shouldn't. Hopefully no one got too bad of a hit there, but you can reward people along the way. You don't make people just wait back and cross their fingers and hope there's a token someday. Back to this Luca post. So Laura's, I'm going to quote Laura Shin here. I saw another post. I'll see if I can find it that gave more of like a TLDR that said more, that shared more about it. But where'd it go? Well, I pinned it up top. For some reason, I'm not finding it on her. Oh, there we go. So Luca went on Laura's show, said, nobody knows this, but I'll share it on this podcast. Luca just disclosed that Igloo built an instrument to list crypto tokens directly on NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange, structured as a security so protocols can pay revenue back to holders. That's interesting. I don't know exactly how it all worked, but it makes me
there's a little video that that he made. I'll go get it for you. But he was talking. One of the guys, one of the Penguin holders was, sorry for stepping on you.
No,
but
perfect.
One of the Penguin holders was playing a snippet from that video where he kind of explained it. I'll go get it.
Yeah, if you can find that. I saw the snippet. That's what I was looking for. I just couldn't find that tweet. See if you can go find it and pin it up top, that'd be great. Greatly appreciate it. Here is here's this is from Laura's blog. Says Nets disclosed the product would be 1-to-1 with crypto markets and redeemable on chain, structured as a security so protocols can pay revenue back to holders. On Wednesday of Uneasy Money, Luca, CEO of Igloo, the company behind Pudgy Penguins, disclosed that the firm has built a new financial instrument to list crypto tokens directly on NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. Nobody knows this, but I'll share it on the podcast. The token would trade 1-to-1 with crypto markets and remain redeemable on chain. According to Nets, the structure would take the shape of a security, a designation he argues would let protocol distribute revenue directly to token holders. The beauty about this structure is it's actually defined as a security, and so you can get fees back to holders directly from the platform. So you can do distributions of protocol revenues directly to shareholders. He compared it to a cross between an IPO and an ICO built on traditional finance rails, with bulge bracket banks such as Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley underwriting the raise, a process he pegged at 10 million to 20 million. He used Aave as an example, only as an example of a DAO token that could list, not as a confirmed deal. Nets framed the instrument as an answer to the weakness in existing token to Wall Street vehicles. Exchange traded funds carry fee drag, while digital asset treasury companies depend on trading at a premium to their net asset value. The disclosure came as hosts debated Coinbase June 6th launch of 1-to-1 backed tokenized stocks, part of a broader race to bring equities on chain. Nets said Igloo spent a lot of money developing the structure and had wanted to discuss it with Superstate, the Robert Leshner firm that it already issues SEC-registered tokenized equities. The effort also lands as the SEC weighs in an innovation exemption for tokenized stock trading. For now, Nets offered no product name, launch date, or first listing, and called the project only happening. His characterization of the instrument as security remains his own, not a settled regulatory determination. A lot of things still have to happen there, but I don't know as if Luca makes those statements without it being somewhat predetermined or inevitable or a done deal, and they're just not announcing the details yet. Surprisingly, Pingu is actually down 5% on the day. I saw that. I expected to see it up 5% or so on the day, but it's down 4.58% on the day. And all that said, I am much more excited about my my abstract XP being back, because if they're doing this, I have to imagine that would be how they would TGE abstract. And therefore, I don't know. I mean, I don't believe abstract to be generating enough revenue today to where it would be any sort of material rev share or dividend. But conceptually, I love it. And it could be one of those things, just like I said, BZ pushing the way, on-chain points program, building real on-chain loyalty rewards programs. Similar here, if this conceptually, if it works, it can open up. It could kind of be the roadmap for others to do similar things. And in the clip, he does say Luca gave insight on how he plans to launch and raise for abstract. Kind of a big deal. And I did see that clip, came out 12 hours ago. I pinned it up top. Let me do this. I'll play the video, and then we will check back in with our friends over at Meet at the Clubhouse. Let me play this video for y'all real quick. It is 1 minute and 43 seconds. So here we go.
You want to know something cool, Kane? Nobody knows this, but I'll share it on this podcast.
All right, let's do it.
we made a new financial instrument to basically launch tokens directly on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange, 1-to-1 to crypto markets.
Who's the we in this?
Igloo.
Igloo, right? Okay, yeah. Wow, is that happening? Like, what's going on there?
It's happening, but I thought I should just share.
Happening. And so, what's the intent behind that?
What was really a big issue post 1010? I think post 1010, it was very clear that any net new token launches until proven otherwise was a giant mistake. The second one is if you look at ETFs and DATs, right? Like ETF has fee drag, DATs, if there's a premium to MNAV, like the treasury holding company acquires that premium. Like if you actually think about a token launch, if you should be able to launch something on the New York Stock Exchange or on the NYSE, and that should be able to trade 1-for-1, it should be redeemable in crypto markets. And so that was kind of our thesis, and we spent a lot of money figuring it out.
So you can take Aave and list that on the NASDAQ?
Yeah, and the beauty about the structure is it's actually defined as a security, and so you can give fees back to holders directly from the platform. So you can do distributions of the protocol's revenue directly back to shareholders. If you wanted, you could sell 10% of the network directly to bankers. You could do it. You could run it like a traditional IPO. And so it's like an IPO, ICO, but with TradFi rails first. The big barrier to entry here is there's only so many people who can do it, because that underwriting process, if anybody's familiar, is a $10 million, even $20 million process, depending on how they do diligence.
Pretty cool. I'm excited to see how this develops, and I applaud them for taking some big swings here, seeing if they can build some new rails. And oftentimes we hear like, hey, you're an NFT holder, you're not a shareholder, you're not an equity holder, these aren't securities. There's what does it mean for holders? How does this do for the holder? Oh, great, Pudgy did $50 million in revenue last year. Awesome. What's that mean for someone holding a 4.5 ETH Pudgy Penguin? Today it doesn't mean anything. I mean, other than like, yes, it's helping grow the brand, and theoretically over a long enough timeline, the brand becomes mainstream and value accrues back to the rookie card, the OG digital asset. But in this scenario, what it could lead to is, as you just shared there, whether it's the NFT, whether it's Pingu, whether it's abstract, all the above, my interpretation is that there's a path towards potentially sharing in, that revenue stream with holders, with supporters. And at the end of the day, like the way to accomplish a lot of the whole idea of revenue sharing or distributions, it's a security. So you gotta be legal security to do that stuff. And it sounds like they've worked on or developed or developing a path to do that in a new way. So I've never launched a security. I'm not I'm not an expert in that realm, but very excited to see how this develops. I'm sure that you could probably poke some holes in it today, at least with the information we have, but it's at least something new. It's experimenting on chain. And we talk about tokenized stocks and equities, and that arena taking off. How can we bring the community? How can you drive alignment? How can you bring some of your earliest supporters, some of your raving fans? How can you bring them along? And it sounds to me at least like an attempt to do so. Which, speaking of tokenized equities and RWAs on chain, good time, perfect segue to fit in our keeping it real of the day. Interesting topic relative to all this. And so we'll do our keeping it real segment, and then we will roll into, we'll check in with our friends over at the clubhouse. But yeah, you're not missing anything yet over there, if anyone is curious. But this is today's Keeping It Real segment, brought to you by Dome.
Buying domains was slow, Dome changing the game. One bridge, one standard, now the systems move the same. Registrar, stay central, keep the trust and control. DNS and compliance, still they play the key role. Traded on chain, let new markets arise. Domain value unlocked, welcome to DomainFi.
So today's Keeping It Real segment, as always, brought to you by Doma, our partners bringing real world assets on chain. Something most people have kind of slept on. The internet running on 364 million domain names worth an estimated $360 billion, and almost none of that is liquid. Selling a premium domain the old way means 45 to 90 days of waiting, and brokers take anywhere from 10 to 20% off the top. Doma fixes that. They tokenize real domains your .coms, your .ais into on-chain assets you can trade 24/7, you own a fraction of, you can borrow against, while the domain still works like normal. That is DomainFi. Real assets, real yield, no waiting room. Doma putting the real and keeping it real. Check them out at doma.xyz or click that QR code on the top. That'll take you to Doma as well. Today's Keeping It Real segment, Moody's putting credit ratings on chain on Solana. Real world assets getting another stamp of legitimacy overnight. Moody's ratings announced Wednesday it's bringing its credit ratings on chain via Solana in partnership with tokenization specialist Alpha Ledger. They're expanding its token integration engine, or TIE, TIE. So issuers of the tokenized bonds and fixed income products can embed Moody's assessments directly into the asset itself. It's the first time Moody's ratings have gone live on a major public permissionless blockchain. The engine's first deployment earlier this year was on the institutional Canton network. This timing fits the trend. Tokenized RWAs are now a $32 billion market. That's up 300% year over year, with tokenized US treasuries alone near 13.4 billion in 6 asset categories, each over 1 billion. Solana's own RWA footprint has climbed to roughly 2 billion, with BlackRock and Franklin Templeton already issuing the pitch. Bring trusted terminal grade credit data on chain so a tokenized bond can carry its rating natively instead of pointing it to an off-chain database. It's real plumbing, not just hype. It's plumbing. This is a source of it. May be boring to be like, what the heck does Moody's credit rating on chain do for me? This is going to bring more institutions into the fold. Moody's rating living on chain actually make you more comfortable holding a tokenized bond? I don't know. You maybe not have any interest in holding a tokenized bond, but a lot of people do. And this is, again, just more legitimacy, more credibility, one more step in bringing these traditional assets, traditional equities, bonds on chain. And exciting time. Just continue to see major updates. There's so many tailwinds supporting this space and things that we've talked about for years. It's now happening, and this by itself it's not going to move the market. It's not going to move the price of your tokens, but it's just one step forward to bringing the world on chain. And when you see legacy brands, legacy companies, legacy mechanisms like Moody's rating coming on chain, it's just, again, it's real signal, not just hyper noise. This, to play the other side of it just for a second, the RWA markup is booming. You can't really debate that. The data is the data, but secondary liquidity is still thin, and it's concentrated today among just a handful of institutional investors. So is this building real markets, or are we just parking institutional money on rails that retail can't really use yet? To be determined, but I believe that this if this Moody's ratings going on chain brings in one more major institutional partner or holder, it could have a ripple effect. I think it's exciting to see more and more of this stuff happening. And I fully understand it may not be the most exciting thing in the world when we're talking about Moody's on-chain credit ratings, but it's a big deal. And if you don't believe me, I just saw, because I had Laura Shin's site pulled up, talking about Luca. This is her second headline as well. Moody rolls out credit ratings on Solana in a push to bring trusted financial data on chain. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It basically, I promise I did not take this from Laura's site, but yeah, I wonder actually if my robot, this is where it got some information, because it does look pretty a lot of similar verbiage in language there, but it's very real. And I will give this one quote: investors need independent credit analysis wherever they transact, and increasingly that's on chain. This was Rajay Barma, the head of digital economy strategy at Moody's. And also, I think the other, you're not missing anything at the clubhouse. Nothing of consequence discussed thus far. We're getting our live update. Talked about safety for like 20 minutes. What kind of safety, Dort? Solana is the RWA king. Like this is kind of, I think, like, forget it. Moving away from Moody's on-chain credit ratings for a second. This initiative reinforces Solana. I'm quoting this blog on Laura's site now. This initiative reinforces Solana's drive to become a hub for tokenized assets and institutional finance, a market that Boston Consulting Group and Ripple estimate could reach 18.9 trillion, or by 2033, that'll be about half of the market cap of SpaceX. A kid, I'm adding that myself. That's just a joke, or maybe not. Who knows? Asset managers, including BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, and Apollo, have launched tokenized funds and credit products, and the surrounding infrastructure is increasingly moving on chain. That's the big signal. Is it's increasingly, these traditional markets and the rails are increasingly moving on chain. The one other big takeaway is I did not like everyone, not everyone, a lot of people think of Solana as it's the DJ casino. And it was for quite some time, right? It's like you can't tell a Solana story without talking about the meme coin season or pump fun. I don't want to say they're moving away from that. It's still there, but they're growing far beyond that. And we talked about the SpaceX trading on Hyperliquid, and that Solana actually even had more, which was shocking to me. Camino took the number one. Thanks for the assist here, Mayhem. Camino took the number one spot in RWA lending across every chain. So Solana's Camino now holds 40% share in all dedicated RWA deposits, ahead of Morpho at 39% and Aave at 21%. Solana really making some big moves in the institutional world. And while I've remained, my long-term thesis and stance and holdings a Bitcoin and ETH hasn't really wavered since I got active in the space in 2021. And I still believe the long-term, I still believe in the long-term thesis of ETH. I don't think Bitcoin's going anywhere. It's still going to be number one, number two. Because of the recent growth of Hyperliquid, I've become much more of a Hyperliquid bull. And I just, my interest or my thesis in Solana has kind of waned mainly because I wasn't into, or I didn't see the meme mania. I didn't see the DJ and casino as something that was near as exciting or sustainable as what we're seeing elsewhere. ETH and Hyperliquid in particular, in terms when it comes to building. The moves they've been making here in the RWA space and tokenized equity space, it's impressive. And I think it's recreating the Solana narrative. I think that's important, that's powerful. And these are institutions far bigger than myself, they're managing far more wealth than myself. And it does, I think it's a good move. I really do. I think it is more, we'll see in the near future, but this is, even if the tokenized credit ratings don't do it for you, I think it's hard to ignore the major institutions that are coming on chain, that are bringing RWAs on chain, and Solana is, on the short list of those that are being considered and, making moves. So GG to the Solana team, and love to see it. I lost my notes here. Let me see if I can. I'll blame the Nat. The Nat threw me for a loop. Solana always has had great DeFi. Yeah, I agree, but it still always felt inferior to me. It just, the chain didn't work as well. It would, transaction, you'd have to try a few times to get to go through. And I didn't see, it's always had great DeFi, but I in my impression, I'm just saying this, and I'll bet to being wrong. My impression with Solana's DeFi is it was great DeFi for the trenches. It was great DeFi for retail. And I was just, that was a wrong read. It's clearly great DeFi at an institutional level. And that was, I say that was a miss. That said, let me go back to the market update. I mean, it's what's kind of wild to me is, while I say it was a miss, I rotated most of my Solana position far, like in the it was like maybe 150s. I don't know exactly, but it was far, maybe 2x, 3x what it is today. I don't think I sold any over 200, but my point being is, why my read was wrong, my vision of like their path forward, and I became, I don't necessarily say bearish, but more so just like I just keep like personally, my feelings is like the whole meme coin casino, the pump fund, it just turned me off, and it became so much of a driver there. So much of the volume was pump fund, and if you're going to talk to me like what has more of a future, what do you want to bet on? Pump fund and meme coins, launching tens of thousands of meme coins a day, or something like Hyperliquid, which is real stuff that I think a lot more wealth, a lot more people that aren't just degenerates are excited about and going to be interested in. From it's not just crypto perps, but when they start driving all that activity with 24/7 markets on commodities and oil and the equities, it's just tokenized stocks. Like there's so much happening that to me, it just seemed like such a better story, such a better narrative. And I still remain, I haven't sold any of my Hyperliquid. I still remain long Hyperliquid and will continue to add to that bag. And basically they're trading about the same price and not the same market cap or FTV, but token price is about the same. I know it's not really a relevant metric, but I could very well be if this continues to play out, and now is I understand the thesis now and where they may be playing into the blockchain world, the crypto world moving forward. I think we're early again. I mean, if you look at in the last year, it's down 50% in the last year. So I think where I'm trying to reconcile, it's wild to me that this is something that peaks at the meme explosion, the not just pump fund, but I think the Trump coin was probably like Pico topish, and a lot of really sharp people called that, trading around $253 back in January of last year. And while maybe they were working on some of the rails, to Mayhem's point, everything that was being talked about, the narrative was the DGen casino. And when it was the DGen casino, it's trading at $253 when it's bringing in real world solutions and having the success of RWAs and bringing Moody ratings on chain and being the number one spot to trade StockX or SpaceX on chain. And now it's trading at $70. So you're telling me I can get into a token with a narrative that I believe has long-term future success, far much more so than meme coin trading, and I can get it at a third of the price. Like, while I might have been wrong, it could be right. Like, it could be an opportunity to be early. Because if you think about like when you could get Solana in the 70s, like almost, we'll call it like it's almost in the 60s. The last time you could do this was before the big run up of 23. I'm trying to think, like end of 23, December of 23 is when it really started popping off. And then it pretty much just like wasn't up only, but pretty much up only for all of 24 and into 25 until the Trump coin and then that liquidity suck. And, that marked at least the generational top. But yeah, like the last time you could get Solana for these price levels was like late 2023, before the meme coin mania. So now you still have the meme coin volume. Like Pump Fund hasn't closed up shop. They're still making millions of dollars. And then in addition to the meme coin mania, you have real world products. You have real world assets that are growing at a pretty rapid clip on Solana. It's got me wanting to double click on this and do a little deeper dive on the data. And I'm thinking strongly about taking rotating some stuff back into Solana and maybe even start adding it back on the DCA list. Because it's just like, could it go down from here? Yeah, absolutely. There's no, price will continue to be very volatile, most likely. You're talking about something that not only is it down 50%, 51% on the year, it's down 16% on the month. But what do we talk about? Whether it's majors or alts or NFTs, you want to buy dips and sell rips. Like, you don't want to be shoving all in at Solana at $250 at the Pico top whenever it's got all that momentum and attention. If the thesis is improving and you see a path in terms of like long-term revenue generation and real sustainability, well, simple math, it's a much better buy at 70 than it is at 250. So yeah, I am. Yeah, I mean, he's sorry, I hope you don't mind if I quote you, but Mayhem says, yes, it's always been great for DeFi. He's personally used Solana for DeFi over everywhere else for the past few years. But yeah, the chain leaned heavy into memes, which hurt their perception. Because it wasn't just pump fun, it was my perception of the chain was that that's really what they were like. It was, you see Tolly and like the founders, the Solana Foundation, and then you have the president of the Solana Foundation come out and say, oh, on-chain gaming is dead. And like basically the narrative they seem to be pushing. And I, again, just from my algo, just from my perception, was they're a DJ and casino and memes. And the reality is they're much more than that. Our friend, by the way, our friends over at Doma launching some pretty exciting stuff on Solana. We'll do. I know our segment, Keeping It Real, is not a Doma specific segment. It's just a quick live read there, but we will have the leadership on here at some point in the future, give you an update, because like truly some exciting stuff. One thing I can't talk about, but if you don't get it yet, I think the next big announcement that's coming out from that team it's gonna open some eyes, and we'll make it, I think, clear what. But again, my whole point being is Solana's a great partner of theirs. Vibu, who's their head of product, I believe is Vibu's title, was at Dominion, was at Doma's conference. We had a chance to interview him on Doma on Air, which, by the way, I'm reminding myself here, we will have a Doma on Air this afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to, pretty cool guest, as an amazing domain that is, I want to see if it's announced yet. I'm not sure. It is, yeah. Okay, so 12 days, they're bringing smoothie.com going on chain. It's a $23 billion market. I'm trying to think what I can say. Like, you could imagine that the smoothie kings of the world, the Planet Smoothies, you can imagine all those would like a premium domain like smoothie.com, be it far better than smoothieking.com, or at least, grab smoothie.com and point it to that. But yeah, the smoothie.com is going on chain July 1st. So a couple weeks out from that. I'll pin that up top. And then the Doma on Air that goes live at 1 p.m. Eastern. I have the pleasure to host the owners of smoothie.com. We'll be talking to them, so you can bring any questions. That we go live from the Doma account. So just if you're not yet following Doma, you can click through that up top. It's pinned up top, the Sip Into Smoothie Summer giveaway, and throw notifications on, or just come back around 1, and you will you can tune in, and if you have questions for the owners of smoothie.com and why they would bring it on chain, I think it's just really some interesting stuff that I do believe a lot of the space is, I don't even want to say sleeping, I just don't think they're aware of yet. But yeah, Vibu it was great to meet him. It was great to interview him. One of the Doma on Airs, the one we did live in Vegas, and this was there to tie it all together here, because we were just talking about it. Solana's announcement of that Moody's credit rating. They're embedded and machine readable at scale on Solana, the leading public network for institutional RWA. Never mind, Smoothie Guy's next week. We're still going live at 1 o'clock today. Just not going to be Smoothie Guy. Thanks, Payne. Producer Payne, keeping this thing on the rails somehow. He's got a lot. It's a big job to keep me on point. So Smoothie Guy not this week. We'll do a Doma on Air next week with the owners of smoothie.com. We are going live on Doma on Air today at 1. It's just not going to be Smoothie Guy. Anyways, back to this. The leading public network for institutional RWAs. That to me gets me a lot more excited than the leading public network for meme coins. Also, I don't think we talked about on the show where their partnership with World Series of Poker. I don't know exactly what it means, but I did see the announcement, and I'm just going to scroll real quick to see if I can find it. And then last 15 minutes of the show, Figgy's talking now, so we're gonna pull in the live stream. I had some issues last time, but I think we can make this work. So just bear with me. I'll do some digging on what the World Series of Poker partnership with Solana means. I don't really know, but it's actually a space this time instead of the video thing. So it might be easier. It might be harder, but we're going to bear with me here. I'll share the screen and share the audio. And if this doesn't work, we'll come right back. But Figgy's talking right now. So this is the simulcast of Meet at the Clubhouse.
To put NFT holders first, which is something that I believe in. And I think to distill it down to the activation we were just about to do, it's like we were working with Fidgetals, who's not Yuga, it's like a third party, and we pushed them really hard to integrate Glyph and ApeCoin into it. And they were game, man. They were like totally cool about everything. And I don't know that it's worth it to go in a huge technical postmortem, but like in a world where you're composable, where you're like building off of other people's primitives or their stacks, like one thing that was unexpected that morning is like the Twitter API was acting up. And that's not something we can control. Like my Twitter app crashes all the time while I'm on the spaces, right? Like the Twitter thing is just a completely different tech stack. But to log in to Glyph with your Twitter, you need it to be working. And so like there's a couple of these issues where when you're working in Web3 and you're building off of other people's stuff, if anyone in that chain, if you're not controlling the whole thing, then there could be bumps in the road, you know? And we saw way more, I thought with just the token holders hitting the site, that there would be a limited amount of traffic, but I think everybody got a little trigger happy, started hitting that refresh button really hard a lot, which is great. We haven't seen that kind of excitement, especially from token holders, in a long, long time. This is a good wake-up call for all of us, you know, like I think it's good to see that excitement back. But, you know, the way I see it, if everybody is using their Glyph wallet and all of their wallets are attached to their Glyph wallet, everybody's going to be safer because nobody could take your apes. And that means that our goal becomes more clear, which is like, how do we get Glyph and ApeCoin into way more ecosystems? Because if everybody's using Glyph and other side, and then we get a platform like Fidgetals to integrate Glyph, you know, it's early days, there's bumps in the road, but like actually the more distribution we get for Glyph, that means that apes can seamlessly move safely across all these platforms. Not only that, we can go over there and they can come over here. Like there's stuff that Fidgetals can now do because now they can see, okay, these are the guys who own, you know, the Coda plushies, and we can do stuff for them. So I actually think there's like, yeah, there's growth pains for sure. I hear everybody saying like, come on, it's 2026. Like we should know how to do this. It should be a piece of cake. I'll say like in many contexts it is, but there's still like, as we grow, if we want to grow, there's going to be pain. And I think we can get better at it. But yeah, that's a whole lot on just like the state of the drop. I think that we're going to continue experimenting. Hopefully we're going to double back on some of the stuff that really resonated. One of my favorite things so far has been the Daniel Arsham treasure hunt, where it's just like, okay, here's a high value asset. We're gonna put them in other side. They were all in one spot, but maybe we could scatter them in the future, and just bringing that fun of the hunt back, right? So, state of the drop, things are going well. If you had an issue with the Coda plushies, please reach out. We got lost in spend, just trying to make sure that everybody is set up correctly if they had an issue. And yeah, yesterday we started rotating to the Luma invites for the Asia tour. I fly on Saturday, and there's a lot that we want to get done there. I think, again, it's like, I believe that it's a heavily underleveraged part of the community. So far, my schedule is no breaks. It's like going from meeting to meeting to meeting, and then people still want to like meet and talk. And, you know, me, Vera, Juan, Kiki, we're all going to be out there. And actually, you know, there's been a bunch of community members that have reached out. I don't know if we've said this yet, but they've reached out to get to know like, okay, so where are you guys going to be? When are you guys going to be? They're like, I want to be a part of it too. And so like, I actually think there's like a small team of like ambassadors of the thing. And it's great. It's great networking too. It's not all just for it's like, there's something to get out of it by going out there, but there's a lot of people coming along, stopping by 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 cities. And I think that that's great. You know, I think that's going to help get the word and the vibe out. This is not our only time going out there. I know people call it an Asia tour, but it's like it's 4 cities. You know, it's just Taipei, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Seoul. Like Asia's a lot bigger than that. But I don't think we can do everything at once. I think we have to just like focus on this, and then we have to do another play later. And those are going to stack up. So yeah, those have been that's just been a lot that's been rolling out this week, and not to mention, you know, there's been a lot of people in my replies and my DMs telling me about this event around the world where apes are going to meet in one location. Like this is one thing that like people like to do. It's but you know, I'm CEO for just like 2 months. I'm new at this. People got to explain to me how to communicate in Web3. I'm just learning. You know, we're all new at this. BAY Seek team. I told them stuff like, hey, there's this meeting of apes around the world in one location, and people need to know like when that is and where that is. And they all looked at me like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I guess people do need to know that. So like, we're all still learning. We're trying to figure out how to communicate something like that. But I know it's something that's been on people's minds. So we've been hard at work at that too, and putting together just a really comprehensive, you know, that's the thing that people want. They want a lot of information about what it's going to be, where it's going to be, what it's going to be about. And so we've been compiling that into like just a really helpful stack of information that we're going to, you know, put out there. And it's going to be so comprehensive that like we won't even need to talk about it. Like that's the best part. Like we'll just be like, here you go. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then, you know, I'm sure spaces will spin up soon to like talk about that information and to go over all the detail. And yeah, we're just really excited for that. You know, I think the team has done a really comprehensive job about preparing that information. So it's going to go out, and I think that'll be that.
Fucking bullish. I'm excited for this comprehensive information that is going to hit the timeline. So we don't got to tell y'all motherfuckers nothing.
I bet you there's gonna be questions. I bet you
Oh,
there's
no,
gonna be
he
said
that
questions.
will be that,
Everything on
That
there.
will
No,
be
there's
that.
not going to be no
That
questions.
will
That'll
be that.
that.
That will be that.
That will be that. It'll be so clear.
Very, very informative.
And that will be that.
Very, very clear. That's right.
I thought he was gonna rug the space right there at the just whoop, see it, no questions asked.
Not gonna lie, I was
People do
tempted
that
to
too
in my
much.
mind. I was like that maybe.
You can't rug us like that.
Can I take a moment to just like simp on Figgy for a sec? Because he nailed it on the head right now. Like the whole thing with digitals, you know, hiccups. But what's exciting is that we're being leaders in the space again, seeing Yuga being leaders in the space and trying new things out. And we as a community, we're the test monkeys. And I think it is kind of part of our duty being here for a long time to try these things out, work through the kinks, and then like try to help other people on board. So I think that was really good. And another thing is like, Vicky, I think I mentioned this before. It's like you're such a great communicator. It's like walking us through the process, like pre, during, and after has been I think getting the entire community all together and a lot in an alignment so we don't feel so uncertain in such an uncertain environment. So I just want to give thanks give thanks in this beautiful morning to Figgy, and yeah, really looking forward to coming along for the tour next week. I'll see you next week.
Hell yeah. Love to hear that. Yeah, I think the tour is going to be great, and you know, it is good that we have these touch points. And I'm trying to tweet out more about like what it is we're doing, because I do think a lot of the moves we're doing are stacking up and they're making a lot of sense. And you know, even after the Asia tour, we have more moves, right? Like we just have plans on plans, and I think that that's important because when you're looking around and you go, okay, you know, I want to be a part of a community in Web3. Um, be a part of as many as you want, but like where's your home base? Like, I want as many people as possible to feel at home, no matter where they are in the world, no matter what phase they are in life, they should feel at home in the club. So I think one of the ways that we can make them feel confident about that is like, there's always product. That was one of my favorite things, the very beginning of Bored Ape Yacht Club. If you were around really early on, if you weren't, it was basically like every week something was going on with the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I think that's when we're at our best, because it's almost like, oh yeah, that was a bump, that sucked, but we're moving on. We're moving on to the next thing. Now, I will say, like, probably for whatever we drop next in the future, I think we like pressed on the gas pedal really hard, and we're like, yeah, it's okay, we're gonna break some things, but I think we're like, okay, no, actually, we're gonna like regroup. We're gonna do all our learnings, and like the next thing we're gonna do a little more careful so that everybody has a good experience, because like you got to balance it. But we are, I mean, that's what we are trying to do. We're trying to like put things together in a new way. Every drop is different, and yeah, I hope people see the fun in that.
Yeah, I
Remember,
think that's
guys, wait, hold on. Illa, I got to say this real quick. This is something you said a year ago or so, and it's stuck in my mind. We are not serious people. And that has kind of been the mantra we've had fun with over the last year or plus, right? Where we're very serious about what we do here, safety, security. These are assets. We're very aware. But at the end of the day, we rock monkey pictures and we have fun on the internet together, and we travel the world to have experiences. So that's what I always think about, specifically because of what you said, Illa. So I just wanted to take a minute there and throw that in there.
No, it's a fact. We raw dog the internet, and I want to double tap on what Tiger said, and it's very important, man. Like, just communicating is super super important, especially if you have a community as big as ours. There's definitely going to be bumps in the road, but the fact that it's so important to do those like postmortems and just have a conversation, because what I've learned in life as somebody who's like, even in the street, I've had to deal with conflict resolution. Most of the time, people just want to be heard. If you ignore people, they just get louder, and sometimes that can lead to like some fucked up things, to be honest, because of miscommunication. Most conflicts is because of miscommunication or lack of communication. So figure it's super important what you just did. Like, you always find time to be like, hey, let's just talk about this real quick. This is what happened. And anyone who was like had any gripes about a drop or something, they feel heard, and then they understand why it happened. And people respect the builders. You know what I'm saying? They always respect the builders, and especially if the builder takes time to be like, hey, we've seen, of course, we're going to acknowledge what happened. This is why it happened. We don't have control of everything, but we're going to make sure that we learn, we take the learnings and move forward accordingly. They love that shit, man. They love it. So I feel like that just makes the club stronger each and every day, week in, week out. We got our 8 Chain brothers and sisters. I know we're winding down. Oh, and we got Tropical up here. I always love to throw Tropical the mic. And we got Kurt came back up. I think he has something to say. But Lost, Spend, how y'all feeling, man?
All right, we're gonna pull you all back here. So the update there is Ape Fest details coming soon. I would expect it probably within the next week. Last thing I want to share before I let y'all get out of here, if you want to finish that, I think they're winding things down. But the last thing I want to share is this was really cool and was not expected. But we're playing a lot of videos. We're gonna play one more video so you can see it for yourself. If you missed the Mid-Journey announcement, this is wild. What a time to be alive. They just announced a new division of Mid-Journey called Mid-Journey Medical. I'll play this clip and I'll come right back. You can probably get the gist there. I will give you the TLDR for our podcast friends and listening in later to the audio only version. Midjourney Medical, what they just announced is a full body ultrasound scanner that takes 60 seconds instead of spending an hour in an MRI tube without radiation, hospitals, or a $2,000 bill. Soon you'll just walk into a health spa, order a coffee, step into the pod, and walk out with a 3D map of your body. The future is starting to look like the future. Pretty incredible. There's also on Midjourney, there is a technical deep dive if you're curious learning more. But you can see here, some comparison side by side of an ultrasound computed tomography reconstructions against conventional MRI. And it just looks more detailed. It's going to be better. It's going to be cheaper, faster. You're not going to have to stay still in an MRI machine for hours and deal with that radiation. It's just they're launching the first one in San Francisco, but they plan to have thousands of these throughout the planet in the near future. And really, so an ultrasound can also be used to precisely target tissue, which means that the line between imaging and treatment is starting to get very interesting. Scan, map the body, find the issue, stimulate, ablate, modulate, and repair with sound. This is what medicine was supposed to be, by the way, prevention instead of take the pills after you get sick and here's the bill. But prevention has a problem. There's not much money in preventing someone from getting sick. There's a lot of money to be made in chronically managing a patient. Preventative medicine is what AI is enabling. Again, just what an exciting time to be alive. I'm not going to go out to San Francisco to get one of these scans, but I will jump in that tub and get scanned as soon as they are available. I think we missed something. 1017. I don't know what that is. That's probably when. If I'm guessing this is when I'm reading into this. I'm guessing this cryptic tweet is ApeFest is going to be 1017. Would be my guess. They just sent out a cryptic tweet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's. Let's double check, make sure it is Saturday. But my guess would be that is when ApeFest is going to be. It's usually October, November, and so that would fit on a timing standpoint. And yes, October 17th. It's the third Saturday in October, mid-October. I'm going to go ahead and put it on my calendar now. ApeFest. See, not kidding. Just plugged it in. October 17th will be ApeFest. You heard it here first. It's not confirmed, so it'll be we don't even know where yet, but they said, as Figgy said there, they'll be dropping a lot of details here soon. But yeah, my read there on the cryptic tweet is it's either that or 1017 is how many minutes the War Room debated Hatch yesterday. One of the two. Dort's a funny guy. But no, it is. I could be wrong, but I think seems pretty based on what they just said, and then that tweet coming out right after. I think that you could probably go ahead and save that date, 10/17. October 17th will be ApeFest 2026. Looking forward to it. I also, this might be bad. It's going to be really close. We're good. It's the weekend one or the 2 weekends prior to October 17th is Parents Weekend. I already told my daughter I was coming out for Parents Weekend when she's at school. So, hey, Dor, if you're up for it, I might just look to live on the Atlantic coast of Florida for a couple weeks, like the first half of October, assuming it's in Miami. I think it'll be. But yeah, the homecoming weekend and so yeah, family weekend is October 3rd, and then homecoming weekend is October 24th. So I knew there was some October events that I was going to be planning to go to FAU, and fortunately none of those are on October 17th. So we're good. We are in the clear. The date has been saved. We also have a news for all of our Canadian friends. Kalshi heading to Canada. Millions of Canadians, millions of Canadians will be able to trade through Wealth Simple, partnership with Wealth Simple to launch prediction markets in Canada. And with that being said, appreciate everyone tuning in today. Thanks for everyone who hung out with us through at the clubhouse. And we'll be back tomorrow. If you want to drop in to the Doma on air, that is again today at 1 p.m. Eastern. It'll be live from the Doma account. I do have a pinned post up top, so you can go give the Doma account a follow. And I don't know, actually, I don't think you'll see. There won't be any ring or any nothing around my account, my PFP. You have to find us through the Doma account. So just if you're looking for that, Doma on air. And also our friends over at Spoiled Banana Society just launched their Best Ball 4. Opens up June 23rd. $100,000 guaranteed prize pool, $25,000 first place prize, and a $25 entry. If you're not following Spoiled Banana Society, we'll definitely be talking about that as we kick off football and start talking a little more, start driving our sports conversation to an actual sports show instead of an extended cold open. But last but not least, I'm also putting up top the reminder for Friday's show. It is a Friday, so you know what that means. Coffee with Captain. One of you is gonna pull a grail here, and Mike indirectly pulled a grail following his Coffee with Captain. So we're due for a grail pull on the show. It could be you tomorrow. Just tune in live at 8 a.m. Eastern for tomorrow's show and get a chance to participate in that Coffee with Captain. Los Angeles Apes getting together tonight to learn how to play Mahjong. I've never played Mahjong. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that probably wrong as well, but loving the local meetups, love the in real life, and looking forward to seeing many of you on October 17th. Until tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time. First of all, shout out to our friends. Thank you, Teacher Katie. Hans, again, thank you for the generous tip. Greatly appreciate it. Shout out to our friends over in the abstract chat. And have fun, all of our New York friends. Nick's parade about to be lit. Stay safe out there. Have fun. And we will see you all. Definitely pronouncing Mahjong wrong, right? Yeah. I can't wait. That's probably what I'm most excited about my soccer journey is to learn a bunch of names, which I don't think there's many like Smiths or I think majority of the soccer names are ones that I'm going to struggle with, so it should be fun. But I'm still trying to get my head around this whole Midjourney pivot, because it's like I just saw The Verge. Midjourney Medical goes from generating cat images to full body ultrasounds. Pretty exciting. All that said, we'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone.